Well, good morning, everybody, for Thursday, the 13th of October. Last night, this sort of, I think it was really a cold front, went through our sort of area. What I wasn't expecting, for those of you very local to the airfield, was the amount of lightning that was within it. Not a single TAF or forecast predicted the lightning that came out of that. It did sort of scare the living daylights out of me at about 11:30 last night. I think where I live in Medstead, the church got struck by lightning or something like that. So yeah, it was rather interesting, really, and not what I would have expected for October. A little bit more convective energy in some of this weather and quite a lot of heavy rain. And that's sort of the picture we're left with this morning. A brighter start than expected, and we're sort of in an area of probably almost a coal at the moment, an area of nothingness, whilst the high continues to slip away onto the continent. And with that, the winds have reduced again, and it's become all a bit variable. And that's introduced the risk of fog, of which there's quite a bit around the airfield, not on the airfield at the moment, but does bring a fair amount of uncertainty. You can see that in the forecast with the wind showing generally variable or very light 5 knots, so not really a particular wind direction. And a satellite picture over the UK shows reasonable amounts of fog over the Thames Valley and into the Midlands. Our area, as you can see, just being a small sort of hole in the weather. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays as it is, but don't be surprised if we might see some orographic cloud come onto the airfield and just cause us a bit of problem. Public forecast agrees with that, saying that moderate visibility this morning with a risk of mist. And if we look at the warnings for this morning, you can see that until 10 o'clock, we do have a warning of fog of less than 600 meters. Once it sort of lifts and gets a bit of heating and hopefully dries the ground out a bit, it should be actually not bad for some part of the day. It might get a bit more grey and murky towards the end, but it's better than a couple of days ago, which was forecasting it going to rain. I think that's sort of been left for tomorrow for this area of the country. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Top temperature 16 degrees according to GFS, and a dew point of around 8 degrees. Currently at Lasham, we have a temperature of 13 and a dew point of 11. I reckon those temperature and dew points a little bit closer. And yeah, that's the picture outside with some low cloud just floating about at the moment. Odium are currently reporting a few at 200 feet, light winds, and you can see the TAF is quite long, saying that it's sort of a bit of everything. Risk of some fog, risk of some low cloud, getting better in the middle part of the day. So compare that to Farnborough. Again, few clouds at 500 feet. But as you can see there on the TAF, the risk of low cloud this morning. I'll just look at Southampton as well. Very similar. So yeah, I think seize the moment is the best way to view today. Not much cross-country potential unless you're in York just today. But might be some weak thermals. At best, looking at that up to 2,000 feet. So yeah, may not be particularly soarable today, but this is sort of expecting us to have a lot more cloud cover than we do currently. So yeah, you might get a little bit more convection, it says, but weak thermals to not particularly high heights. Cloud amounts, well, it thinks it's going to be foggy here at the moment. So it is suggesting at lunchtime and slightly after being half decent. Slight forecast for Lasham. So yeah, weak thermals to 2,000 feet later in the day. Very little wind, and this is only showing 14 degrees, which I think is a little bit pessimistic on the forecast, especially it's saying sort of 15 degrees on the Met Office one. So yeah, top Meteo for once being a little bit on the pessimistic side. So on the whole, a day where there could be quite a lot of change, just based off a few degrees really, and the chance of some fog. Airspace-wise, as we look across the country today, South Cerney may be active with parachuting. There's parachuting activity at Shobden and Creedon Hill in Wales. 17, 18 and 19 are to do with danger areas. Danger area, Bulford, that's this evening. But there is some parachuting going on, parachuting going on at Uphaven. So treat the salty plain danger areas as active and check with London Information or Boscombe before going over them, as they have been changing at short notice. No, I don't need to worry about fireworks displays. There's no chance to start to fill up the screen fairly shortly. So yeah, not too much in the way of airspace today. No jet movements as far as I'm aware of. Thank you for your patience yesterday. We managed to fit them all in quite nicely and everything went to plan. We do have a Navajo coming in about half an hour or so from Leeds. That will go out again around 2 o'clock. Operationally today, with the wind as it is, it should be westerly preference. We always like going down the hill. So initially it could be 2-7, but I think I'm going to wait for the Navajo to get on the ground, see where the fog is, and set up in the direction which looks least foggy, because we can actually get periods here at Lasham where one part of the sky can actually look a bit more foggy than the other. So you can actually set up the airfield to avoid that. So yeah, we'll just see, and fingers crossed. But get the kit out and we will see you on the airfield shortly. Bye for now.